Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit, gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, she don't understand. She be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way. But I gotta get the shit a long way, tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be a new slave, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we got hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause you tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like the phone way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, I said fuck it bitch, we gonna get some money. I said fuck it bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. And I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Remove. Hello. Let me see something. Stop cam. Test, test, test. All right. What's up? What's up, QJC? What's up, down south, Yella? Dave R. What's up? What's going on, sir? Welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is LJ Young. Is this bright? Is this light too bright? It looks really bright to me for some odd reason. Okay, let me see that. I don't know. All right. Let me know if it looks too bright or too dark. I don't know. I don't want it too bright. What's up, Nick? What's going on? That might be too dark. What's up, Andre? What's up? Welcome. This if you're new to the channel, I am the founder of SMD. My name is LJ Young, and I'm just here to share my gift. And my gift is that I know capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. I know the mathematical fact. This is a mathematical fact, okay? And if it's a mathematical fact, that means it's true. And what this fact means, I also know that the people that live on the negative side, in the negative part of capitalism are called debt slaves. These are people that they believe they own with no money of their own. And they don't even own themselves, and they don't even know it, right? And you're probably wondering, well, who are debt slaves, LJ? Debt slaves are people that believe they can buy houses with mortgages. People that believe they can buy cars with car loans, but people that believe they could save money on a retirement plan with student loan debt older than the retirement plan. Those are called debt slaves because all of that stuff is not mathematically true. None of it's true. But the psychological part is that they don't know it. Now, this is why, like, with this, I'm on the, like I said, there's three parts: psychological, positive, and negative. Now, I am in the psychological part, okay? Now, there are only 0.5% of people in the world that know this mathematical fact. Okay, that's why I want to keep reiterating mathematical facts so you understand what I'm saying, right? That know this mathematical fact. I am sometimes now, since I know what I know, I feel so blessed to be born in a country where capitalism works the best. Everybody in the entire world knows capitalism works best here. Everybody knows that, every single person. And now I know why. Now I know why. Now I know why. You know why? Because we have the best debt slaves in the world. We got millions of them, millions of them. They don't even own themselves. Now, is this still the best country? Yes, it is. The best country to come to. It's beautiful. Capitalism works the best here. And I'll tell you why. Now, there are people that are outside the country. They see the people here and they look all rich and fancy and, hey, that's the place to go. And then they come here and then they fall for it. Then they follow the rest of the debt slaves, right? But then there's people that know, that come from other countries. They know, they're like, hey, that's the best place in the world to make money. Why? Because they got the best debt slaves there. So they come here and then they have to be absolutely amazed. This is just what I'm picturing. They're like, wait a minute, hold up. You mean all these millions of people, they have no idea. They don't own shit. Nothing. They don't know nothing. Even if you tell them, they're like, what? What do you mean? Excuse me. They're like, what do you mean? Tell them. I said, you can go. I said, this is psychological. They don't know that. You can walk up to a debt slave and say, hey, do you know it only takes one day to buy a house? You know what they would do? Like, what? What are you, what are you talking about? One day? Yeah, one day. And they will know, they'll be, that is called a glitch in the debt matrix, right? If you say, go up to a debt slave and say, hey, you can't save for retirement if you have student loan debt. They'll be like, what? I'm saving for my 401k right now. I've been doing it for years. And then you say to them, how long you been saving for your 401k? About 4 or 5 years. How long have you had your student loan debt? 20. And then they'll be like, what? That's the glitch in the debt matrix. They don't know. Now this is for the people that don't understand me. Okay. Go to your tax professional. All right. Go to your tax professional and say, hey, mathematically speaking, make sure you start that off. Mathematically speaking, I heard if I have a mortgage, I can't lower myself in my personal tax bracket. Is that true? You know what your professional tax person has to say? They have to say this. Yes, that's true. They have to say that. Now, this is going to be the glitch in the debt matrix for you. You're going to be like, what? Then how have I been doing it all these years? I don't know. How have you been doing it? I don't know. Who knows? Whatever the paperwork says, I don't know. Who knows? But you can't do it mathematically. 0.5% of the population know what I'm talking about. It's beautiful over here on the positive side. It's beautiful. Absolutely. Taxes are your friend here. They're not evil and mean. Banks are not big, bad, and evil. They're not doing bad things to me and this and that. If I involve the bank, they know why I'm involved with them. It's on the paperwork. That's between the lawyer and the bank and all that stuff. They do all that. When I go get a bank loan, I make sure the paperwork says, hey, bank, I'm not a debt slave. You're not going to charge me hidden fees and stuff behind stuff and hidden over this and that. You're not going to do that to me because you can clearly see that I'm not one of them. Because my credit report says it. Do you guys understand that, debt slaves? My credit report says that. It proves that I own the business of myself here in the United States of America. It proves it. Because what you guys don't know is this. Your credit reports are your owner ledgers. They keep track of all the businesses that own you, debt slave, you. You know, when you guys go around bragging on your credit score and stuff like that, listen closely. Come here. Credit scores are nothing more than reward points for staying in debt with the owners listed on your credit report, debt slaves? Now, listen, it's not your fault because you guys don't know. That's why a lot of people that do understand, they want to come here to America because we have millions of debt slaves that have, like, 99% of you guys don't know nothing. Absolutely anything, nothing. You guys start jumping. Oh my God, the new Cybertruck is out. Oh my, all you got to do is go up to each Cybertruck driver and say, hey, are you making payments? If the answer is yes, who cares what they're driving? It belongs to the bank. Do you understand? The bank doesn't care about no Cybertruck. Tesla and the bank already made a deal. Hey, Tesla, yeah, because you got to remember, you guys as debt slaves, you cannot go directly to Tesla and buy a truck. You can't, because you have no money. You don't even own yourself. So you have to ask the bank for permission first. Do you guys understand that? If you want to buy a house, you got to ask the bank first. If you want to buy a car, you got to ask the bank first, because you guys are debt slaves. So before they sell the Tesla truck, Tesla got to ask the bank and say to the bank, hey, bank, how much would you finance our truck for? The bank, I guess the bank says $100,000. So that's what they get this, or whatever they deal, something. Anyway, it doesn't matter because the bank has to finance the truck. Do you guys understand that? Tesla can't charge whatever they want for a car, because if they can't finance it, nobody buys the cars or the trucks. Nobody buys anything, debt slaves. You come to the positive side and you sell debt slaves cars and houses with mortgages and car loans and extended warranties and warranties on fans and warranties on shoes and remote controls. Why? Because they're financing it all, including the taxes. You guys understand that, debt slaves? It doesn't matter how you feel about the mathematical facts that I'm saying in the mic. It doesn't matter how you feel. It's like if I said, hey man, how do you feel about me saying 1 + 1 = 2? How do you feel about that? It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It just equals 2. Now, what we're going to do is this. We're going to go into a video review today, okay? But it's going to be unlike any other review you've ever seen on the internet. And I want to make sure this is clear. I chose this particular video because this guy explains this particular program very, very well. Do you guys understand that? And that's very important to me, so I can hear what they're saying, because as debt slaves, you guys don't know what they're saying, okay? Because you don't know as debt slaves that you cannot buy houses with mortgages. You guys have no idea you can't do that, okay? So right off the bat, so I listen to it very differently, okay? So when I see a program like that, they must want to make you guys do something or fill some houses up or something. You guys must have a whole bunch of vacant houses in California. Now, this is without me even watching the video. I'm just looking at the title of the video. Which is the title of this video, right? The title alone, to me, says they must have a whole bunch of vacant houses in California that they need filled. Okay, all right. Let me get to this. Let me remove this. All right, let me see how to grab this real quick here. Video file, share screen. I think it's share screen. Just a second. Chrome tab. Yep. All right. One second here. Oh, if I do more of these, I'm definitely going to get a bigger screen. I'm going to have multiple screens. All right, let me see.
popular Dream for All
All
program.
right, let's do a test. Make sure you guys can hear
Or
it.
buying a
Make
home
sure
in
before I
general
get
in
too far
California.
into
You
it.
can book a one-on-one
Give me a
call with
one
my
if you guys
team.
can hear
We'll be
him
glad to
talking.
answer any of your questions, as well as share some of the tips and tricks that we're using right now with home buyers in California to help you save a lot more time and money when you buy your first home. But with that out of the way, let's just jump right on it.
Anybody out there?
So for starters, the California Dream for All program works with something called shared appreciation.
All right, cool,
Now,
cool.
This works
Thank
a
you,
little bit differently
SPIV.
than most
Appreciate it.
first-time homebuyer programs.
All right,
Now,
let me get it to the
down
beginning.
payment assistance. California just announced that they're bringing back the
Pause. All right, so let me put myself in there too. Just a second here. Okay. All right, so let's just start right off the bat so you guys understand. By the title, California must have a whole bunch of open homes that they need filled. Okay, that's what this program is, because remember, nobody in the world can buy a house with a mortgage. Now, there are people that have regular mortgages that don't know they can't buy houses with mortgages. Now, these type of programs are for people that really don't know you can't buy a house with a mortgage. These are people that really believe you can buy a house with absolutely no money, none down, no nothing, borrowing the down payment, everything. That all says debt slaves. Those are for people that don't know. Okay, so let me bring this back up here. All right, and we're going to go through this video slowly here, and let me shrink this so I can see the comments as I'm now. Okay, here we go.
Insanely popular Dream for All program this April, which gives.
All right, Dream for All. Okay, I want you guys to listen to the words. What they're about to tell you is a dream. Okay, because you can't buy a house with no money. You can't buy a house with mortgage. So right off the bat, it's a dream for you. Okay, because you can't do that.
First-time home buyers up to $150,000 to buy their first home in California. But there are.
So they're about to loan you the down payment for a house you cannot afford in the first place because you don't even have the money for the down payment. So they're about to put you in the, okay. There
are some huge changes coming to the program this year that you want to be aware of if you're trying to use this program and take advantage of this huge opportunity. In this video, we're going to go over exactly what the California Dream for All program is and who qualifies for it. We'll also go over some of the big changes that are coming to the program that are different.
I can already tell you who qualifies for this program without him telling me anything. People that don't know, debt slaves. You guys don't know anything. They're putting in dream, see who's going to qualify. They put in the word qualify like, oh my God, you got to qualify for it. Not really. People that know would never, first of all, I would never get a mortgage, period. Number two, I would never in a million years put my name on any of this, nothing of that. Okay.
From this year to last year and how that impacts you as a first-time home buyer, as well as go over some specific examples of who can use this and how this is actually going to be a benefit for you in the long run. And my hope is by the end of this video, you're going to find out if the California Dream for All will be your dream come true in 2024. And now before we get started, if you have any questions during this video about Dream for All or buying a home in general in California, you can book a one-on-one.
Now I want to remind everybody, I chose this guy because he's explaining this program very, very well. Nothing against him at all. Nothing. Okay. This has nothing to do with him. I just like the way he explains this dream program for debt slaves. It's very good. Okay.
Call with my team. We'll be glad to answer any of your questions, as well as share some of the tips and tricks that we're using right now with home buyers in California to help you save a lot more time and money when you buy your first home. But with that out of the way, let's just jump right on in. Okay, so for starters, the California Dream for All program works with something called shared appreciation. Now, this works a little bit differently than most first-time homebuyer programs. Now, it is the same in the sense that the down payment assistance comes in the form of a loan. However, the way that it's repaid is a little bit different. So here's a great example of how shared appreciation works.
What?
So let's say you bought a home originally for $500,000. You would get a first mortgage of $400,000, just a normal conventional loan, and the Dream for All program would give you $100,000 through the shared appreciation. Now, let's say 5 years later, the home goes up in value to $640,000 and you decide to sell. And so when you went to sell your home for $640,000, you've paid down your mortgage, so you only owe about $370 on it. You repay what's due to California Dream for All, $100,000
plus the interest,
so that's $128,000. So that leaves you with homeowner equity of $142,000 for yourself. Okay, but now let's dive into the actual eligibility of this program.
Okay, so let me tell you
for this, because it sounds great.
So let me tell you what they're about to do to you, debt slaves. So since you don't know, you have absolutely no money to buy the house at all, because if you're getting a mortgage, if you need a loan for the down payment on the house, that should tell you that you cannot afford the house. That's automatic. So since you don't know that, so they're going to give you 2 loans plus the appreciation of the house. So whatever you sell it, so that's free money. Wait, okay, hold up. You guys have no money at all. They're going to let you borrow $150,000. And then as the house appreciates, oh my goodness. And then when you sell, they're going to get all that money. So free money. They are making free money. Oh, what is this?
But we still need to meet some guidelines. So something about this program is that everyone on the loan has to meet these borrower requirements.
What's
meaning
that?
Every borrower on the loan needs to be a first-time home buyer, must be a citizen or a national of the United States or a qualified alien, and meet the credit and income requirements that we'll get into in just a little bit. But now on to probably the most controversial change to this program, which is the addition of the first-generational homebuyer requirement. So according to CalHAP's definition, first-generation homebuyer...
Listen, they be making up stuff. What the first-generation buyer meaning by community? Are they making this up, Andre? Okay, hold up. I don't know nothing about it first. Let me just be quiet and listen.
It's
okay,
defined as a home buyer.
They sound like they're making up stuff.
The first generational home buyer requirement. So according to CalHAP's definition, a first generation home buyer is defined as a home buyer who has not been on title, held ownership interest, or been named to a mortgage on a home on a permanent foundation and on owned land in the United States in the last 7 years. So additionally, to the best of the home buyer's knowledge, whose parents, biological or adoptive, do not have any present ownership interest in the home in the United States, or if they're deceased.
Hold up. To the best of the home buyer's knowledge, whose parents, biological or adoptive, do not have any present ownership interest in a home. What does somebody's parents have to do about, to the best of the home buyer's knowledge, whose parents, biological or do not have any present ownership interest? What? I'm not forgetting immigrant. I did see that. What the fuck are they talking about? Why are they? Okay, hold up. Okay, why are they going back to? What does the parents have to do with that? How are they tying that?
Whose parents did not have any ownership interest at the time of death in the United States. Or if that doesn't apply to you, an individual who at any time has been placed in foster care or institutional care in the United States as well. So in reading this, there's really 2 things that you want to consider: your own eligibility, as well as technically your parents' eligibility as well. So not only do you have to meet the typical requirements as a first-time homebuyer, no ownership interest in a principal residence in the last 3 years, but on top of that, you can't have also technically co-signed on like a parent's home or even a sibling's home loan in the last 7. Now, going to the part that has to deal with your parents, right? This is really where that first-generation homeowner definition really kicks in. What this basically says is that your parents can't currently own a home in the United States. And on top of that, if they've already passed away, they can't have owned a home at the time of their death either. This is probably because most children probably end up inheriting the home, and even if they don't keep it, maybe they sold it and pocketed those.
Okay. Let me make sure you guys understand what they're saying. They're talking about own a home, their parents owning a home, like no mortgage, okay? Because you guys as debt slaves will confuse that. They were talking about no mortgage, they own the house free and clear, and they don't want you as a debt slave to inherit a house that's free and clear, because that's a whole bunch of money, and they don't want that. They don't want that, because that would mess up the whole deal. that have you in this house in the first place. So, okay, I see what they're talking about. They don't want no accidents.
And on top of that, if they've already passed away, they can't have owned a home at the time of their death either. This is probably because most children probably end up inheriting the home, and even if they don't keep it, maybe they sold it and pocketed those proceeds.
Right,
Now, it's also important to note that it says to the best of the home buyer's knowledge. So I'm curious to see exactly how they're going to make you prove this. They'll probably have you sign some sort of affidavit.
Okay, let me make sure you guys understand this, debt slaves, okay? Because you guys need to really, really get this. Only debt slaves sign up for that program. Only. People that understand, people on the positive side would never do that in a million years, ever. So it's only you. So I don't know why they're doing all this stuff. Maybe they're doing it to make it sound like it's important or something, or because it doesn't make any sense no matter what they say. It doesn't make any, it makes sense, CENTS for the state. Now put it this way. I do get why California is doing it. Okay. And this is not, I'm not saying California is bad for doing it. Listen, okay, so you guys can really understand this. California is not mean for doing such a program because it's a choice. You can choose to do it or not. You can say, no, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. And you just don't do it. Or you just do it because all you got to do is open up the calculator and clearly say, you don't even have to open up the calculator and say, where in the world can I buy a house with no money? Nowhere except here in the United States. I mean, there's other capitalist countries, of course, Canada, everywhere, but it works best here. Millions of debt slaves believe they own houses. They don't know they don't own anything. That's why everybody wants to come here. Do you understand? This is what I do. People come to me. I share the gift with them, and then they become rich, wealthy, be whatever you want to be. You could be anything. You know why? Because debt slaves are paying for everything. Once you come here, listen, once you come here, you understand that debt slaves pay for everything. Houses, cars, boats, trips, taxes, whatever you want, they pay for it all by choice. Why? Because they don't trust the calculator. That's their choice. They don't know that they can't save for retirement or nothing. They can't do any of that. Now you guys are going to come. I don't know how many people they're going to get with this program. They must going to get a lot of you guys with this program.
Or waiver at the time of applying for this loan. But it is curious that they're just saying, to the best of your knowledge, hopefully your parents don't own a home right now. Okay, so not only are they making big changes to who qualifies for this program based on first-generation homebuyer requirements, and they kind of made it a little less strict than what I originally thought, which is great. But where they are tightening down is the income limits. CalHAP has been notoriously known for having pretty lax income limits compared to other down payment assistance programs. This is because they use their own income limits versus the Fannie Mae ones. Now, while CalHAP isn't exactly using those same low limits, they did significantly lower the limits specifically for the Dream for All program.
Of course.
So let's compare what the income limits were back in April of 2023 versus what they'll be this year when the program resumes.
They'll be even lower.
Okay, so for starters, let's take a look at what the current CalHAP income limits
are. Oh, yeah, let's check them out.
Using their normal down payment assistance program, which gives you about 3% down.
Okay.
So in San Diego, the current income limit is about $231,000 a year. Contra Costa was really popular for me as well at $292. Los Angeles, $194. So pause this screen if you need to find your county on here. You can see.
Hey, you guys, debt slaves. You see those numbers? You see those six-figure numbers? They know you guys are nowhere near six figures. All you got to do is Google this. As you look at those numbers, so if you guys don't believe me, just do this. Google, see how many people in the United States of America make six figures, okay? Just Google it. And then after you find out the answer, come back to this screen and then look and say, wow, I do qualify. Of course you qualify. Of course. Because they only want debt slaves. They're not tricking me. Do you guys understand that? They're not fooling me with any of that stuff. That's just fluff and paperwork to make you guys think something. I don't know. I'm nowhere near that perspective. Okay. I just want you guys to understand what I'm telling you is a guess. Okay. I'm brand new here. Okay. I'm just guessing. See how Andre says, hey, They want the parents with mortgages as well. See, I'm brand new. Okay. I still got diapers on. I'm brand new. Okay. Maybe they want you guys all, I guess. I don't know. I guess they leave. Hey, Andre, they leave nobody? I guess they take everybody. I guess they take all you debt slaves. All right.
Calhfa's income limits are honestly pretty flexible for their standard program. But this is what they were using last year for the Dream for All program. And now in 2024, they've lowered the income limits specifically for the Dream for All program. But now this is the list for the 2024 income limits specifically for Dream for All.
Of course they lowered them. Don't you guys, hey, listen, don't you guys see you guys are making payments on Amazon, Nike, you guys can make payments on t-shirts and stuff. Of course they have to lower the limits or else you guys won't be able to qualify. Okay, do you guys understand? You guys have no money. They're doing it because they got to get you in there. Okay, this is like buy a house with no money at all. You don't have nothing, not even a down payment, nothing. They're like, hey, yeah, they give you a loan, and that's like 3% down. No, it's not 3% nothing. It's $150,000 in debt. That's what that is. It's not 3% of nothing.
Now you can see just those ones we talked about before. San Diego was 231 currently, but for Dream for All, it's 185. Los Angeles is down to 155 here. Contra Costa is down to 234. San Bernardino is 149. Pause this once again if you want to take a look at your specific county. But there is a big...
It doesn't matter. It's still in the six figures. You guys don't have that. The majority of you guys don't have that, okay? And listen, the majority of you that do make six figures, you're probably triple that in debt, okay? This is what I want you guys to see, okay? So because you guys don't really get it. The ones that live in California, you guys make six figures, log into your online credit report, look at your total debt. That's how much money you have to buy a house. If you don't believe me, that's why you're going to qualify for this program, because you don't believe me. That's how much money you have to buy a house. So now you're going to qualify for that program because you don't know that. You understand that? Okay. All right.
Big difference between the different counties now for the Dream for All program. And I actually think that the biggest reason why they've changed the income limits is to honestly restrict the number of people that can qualify.
Oh, God.
But not only that, they really want to limit the kinds of homes people are buying with this program as well. If you've been trying to buy your home in California for any amount of time, I don't have to explain to you the fact that prices of homes are high and higher interest rates haven't done you really any favors as far as what you could afford. So effectively, by lowering the income limits with the California Dream for All program, that limits the amount of homes that you can actually qualify for as well. And I think the biggest reason why is they want this program to be sort of a revolving door of funds. Because ultimately, you don't pay back this program until you sell or you do your second refinance. So if you end up buying your forever home right from the start with this program, they're not going to see those funds for another 30 years. Okay, so when we're talking about what the income limits are...
Hey, listen. If they don't see those funds for 30 years, you know how much money they're going to get? It's not going away. That's more money for them. Listen, debt slaves, the longer you stay in the house, the more money they get. 9 times out of 10, you're going to listen. The house is going to appreciate the house will appreciate regardless if you're there or not. Okay, let me make sure that's clear. The likelihood of you being in a house longer than 5 years is very, very low. So regardless if you're there or not, they're gonna get their money. Do you guys understand that? Because you guys have no money to buy it. You're just in it. You're just, I don't know. I'm not at that perspective yet. Okay. You're just the body that fill an empty house. Okay. It's not funny, Andre. That's not funny. Hey, Andre, you just said it wasn't personal, but you're laughing. You're confusing things. That's like mixing business and personal. See I don't get what you're doing now. I don't get what you're doing.
This last time around. And by Calhfa's definition, it's the annual income limit combined for everyone who's going to be on the loan. So even if you have other members of your family who make income, but they're not going to be on the loan, you don't have to count it towards this income limit. Additionally, this is only what we need to qualify for as well. So for example, if you're co-signing with your spouse and your spouse's income puts you over the income limit, but we only need your income to actually qualify for the program, we don't have to count your spouse's income. We can just use yours as long as you fall under the income limit and it's enough to qualify. Now, I think the biggest change to this program overall is how they're going to actually be releasing the funds. Back in 2023, this was a first come, first served basis.
Hold up. I gotta hear what he just said because he breezed through that pretty quick.
Now, I think the biggest change to this program overall is how they're going to actually be releasing the funds. Back in 2023, this was a first come, first served basis. So, for example, if you're co-signing with your spouse, the loan. So even if you have other members of your family who make income, but they're not going to be on the loan, you don't have to count it towards this income. Additionally, this is only what we need to qualify for as well. So for example, if you're co-signing with your spouse and your spouse's income puts you over the income limit, but we only need your income to actually.
So this one time, they're going to overlook that you're married on some legal documents? Is that what they're saying? They're going to, even though they know you're legally married and you guys share income, and then when you file your taxes, you do everything together. But this time, they're going to overlook that. You know why? Because you're a debt slave. That's why. They're going to overlook everything to get you in it, because you're not going to be in there for long, and they're going to get their money because the house is going to appreciate. The more they stuff you guys in those houses, you guys will start to panic, be like, oh my God, the houses are running out, because you guys are coming up with these programs, and you guys are going to think the house is running out. We're just going to jack them up, get that appreciation up. And then when you guys kicked out and they sell or do whatever they're going to do, they're going to get all that money. The house, listen, they cannot make any money without debt slaves in them. You guys understand? It can't produce any money if you guys are not in them. Okay, that's a fact. All right. So they got to get you guys in them. They know you have no money. They're like, okay, how can we get them in these damn houses? They ain't got no money. We'll just make up a program. How can we make money? Just say it's this and then make the money off the appreciation. You know the house is going to appreciate, right? Yeah. Okay, just add it to that, and that's guaranteed money. Bingo. Then get you guys in there.
Actually qualify for the program. We don't have to count your spouse's income. We can just use yours as long as you fall under the income limit and it's enough to qualify. Now, I think the biggest change to this program overall is how they're going to actually be releasing the funds. Back in 2023, this was a first come, first served basis, and the entirety of the funding was dried up within just 9 days. This time around, they want to make it a little bit harder to get the funds, but also easier on people to get into their contract. As you can imagine, most people were rushing not only to get approved for this program, but also to get under contract for a home before the funds ran out. So this time they're adding 2 additional things. They're adding a lottery system and a voucher system to the program.
So they're getting in the contract before they get approved?
Dried up within just 9 days. This time around, they want to make it a little bit harder to get the funds, but also easier on people to get into their contract. As you can imagine, most people were rushing not only to get approved for this program, but also to get under contract for a home before the funds ran out. So this time they're adding 2 additional things. They're adding a lottery system and a voucher system to the program. So the lottery system is going to be pretty straightforward. In April, they're going to open up a website where you can register for this program and get into that lottery. As long as you meet all of the requirements that are laid out, which a loan officer should be able to help you out, figure out if you can even qualify for this in the first place, you'll be entered into the lottery. And at a certain point down the road, they'll start drawing names out of the hat, essentially, and selecting.
Is this lottery free? Is this, hold up, give them free money, which comes from taxes, which is their money, which is their money. Is this lottery free? Hold up, he's a fast talker. Okay, he's a fast talker.
Able to help you out, figure out if you can even qualify for this in the first place.
Let me rewind it because he's a quick talker.
Get into that lottery. As long as you meet all of the requirements that are laid out, which a loan officer should be able to help you out, figure out if you can even qualify for this in the first place, you'll be entered into the lottery. And at a certain point down the road, they'll start drawing names out of the hat, essentially, and selecting people who are going to get vouchers for the Dream for All program. Now, the voucher essentially holds your place in line for about 90 days. So if you are selected in the lottery and you get your voucher, you're going to have 90 days to get under contract on a home. They'll start drawing names out of the hat, which a loan officer should be able to help you register for this program and get into that lottery. As long as you meet all of the requirements that are laid out, which a loan officer should be able to help you out, figure out if you can even qualify for this in the first place, you'll be entered into the lottery. And at a certain point down the road, they'll start drawing names out of the hat, essentially, and selecting people who are going to get vouchers for the Dream for All program. Now, the voucher essentially holds your place in line for about 90 days.
Hey, Andre,
so if you are
listen, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, why would they? Oh, the appearance of fairness. Got it. Like voting. Got it. I get it. Okay. All right, let me see.
Selected in the lottery and you get your voucher, you're going to have 90 days to get under contract on a home. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to find a home and close within those 90 days. You just have to get under contract and reserve your lock with Calahafa within those 90 days of that voucher. And
okay,
honestly,
hold up. People that understand real estate and getting under contract, is getting under contract free? Is that free, or does that cost money? Is getting under contract free? Because I don't know about that kind of stuff. So
I think the voucher part, at least, is a great change to the program. Number one, it forces people to meet the requirements and make sure they're vetted for it.
definitely.
But also, it gives homebuyers time to actually look around for a home, which most homebuyers didn't have that luxury of last time around. This also prevents anyone from flipping from a normal purchase to the Cal Half a Dream for All program, which we saw a lot of last time around too. Personally, I didn't think it was very fair that people who were already under contract on a home, who had their own down payment, flipped around and used Cal Halfa's money instead, because that money could have gone to a homebuyer who actually needed it, versus somebody who had the money and didn't want to spend it.
What? Okay, hold up.
So let's contract on a home who had their own down payment program, which we saw a lot of last time around too. Personally, I didn't think it was very fair that people who were already under contract on a home, who had their own down payment, flipped around and used Cal Halfa's money instead, because that money could have gone to a homebuyer who actually needed it, versus somebody who had the money and didn't want to spend it.
Let me tell you, let me tell you, Des Lays, what you cannot see. Let's pretend I'm the state of California, and you come to me and you say you want to get part of this program, and you actually did have the money down on a house, and you was about to do it, and you was about to do it the regular way, money down on a house, but you decided you wanted to keep your money down and come to this program. The first thing they're going to do is for you to qualify, they're going to run your credit, your bank stuff. They're going to see your down payment money on your house. They're going to see it. And if you believe instead of keeping the down payment money and coming to get to this program, of course they're going to let you in. Because you got all kind of money to pay for stuff in their program. Of course, they're gonna let you into that program, because they can see. If you put it this way, let me give you an example. I'll use myself as an example. If I tried to sign up for the Cal State program and they start running my stuff, guess what they're gonna say? You don't qualify. You know why? Because I'm not in debt. They would know exactly. If I'm trying to do that program, they would know exactly why I'm trying to do it. I must have figured out something to make some money from it, or something, because there's always a way that you guys don't know. When you know capitalism is psychological, there's always a way to do something, because 0.5% of the population know capitalism is psychological. So of course they don't know everything. They don't even know themselves. This is why you guys get abused by programs like this. This is like debt slave abuse, but you guys do it to yourself. California's not doing anything to you. I want to make sure that's clear. Okay.
So let's just go ahead and take a look at an example of what it would look like to use the California Dream for All program right now at its absolute maximum. As of today, the interest rate for a Cal Halfa conventional mortgage is 6.5% for a 30-year fixed. So we'll compare apples to apples. We'll go to the absolute maximum, which would be a $750,000 home. Putting 10% down of your own money, that would mean $75,000, including closing costs. That would put you roughly around.
This ain't even apples, Death Slave. It's beef. It's you guys. It's not no fruit or anything. It's beef. It's your meat. That's what.
$89,000 out of pocket, and your total monthly payment, including everything right now, would be about $5,200 a month. But if you were to use the Cal Halfa Dream for All program, getting the 20% down benefit, that would drop your payment all the way down to $4,600 a month. And not only that, because you're not putting a huge down payment on a home, that means your total out of pocket for this would be roughly $26,000. So what I actually want to do...
You're not putting any down payment on the home, Death Slave, nothing. You listen, they put these numbers up in front of you because they know you don't understand them. How do they know you don't understand them? Because if I walked up to you today and said, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? You wouldn't know the answer. So if you don't know how much debt you're in, down to the dollar, to the last dollar, not even to the penny, to the last dollar, you don't understand these numbers that they're putting in front of you. That's why they put them in front of you. Hey, look, you can do this. And if you do it this way with the Cal State program, it drops it down below 5,000 and They can put anything on that spreadsheet. You have no money. Oh, wow. You mean I can save more money going Cal State way than the traditional 10% down way? That's way smarter. Only a debt slave would believe that. That's why you're going to qualify for the program. All you got to do is this. Go to this video and read the comments under the video. All the people that love the program, they're all debt slaves. Those are the people the California program are looking for. Those people. California is so expensive. California is high. Only for the people that say it. You guys, I want you guys to understand something. This is a language. California is only expensive for the people who say it. Not for the people who don't say it. Do you guys understand that? There are people in California that don't think California is expensive. Do you guys understand that? And they're not rich. They're not wealthy. You don't listen. You don't have to be wealthy to live in California and not be expensive. You can do that.
So I want to compare that to what it would be roughly with the same out of pocket and roughly the same payment, putting your own money down, and how much more home you could get using the Dream for All program. So check this out. Let's say you were pre-approved to buy a $600,000 home with 3% down in today's market. So comparatively, you would have about the same rate, right? You'd be paying about $4,500 a month. Your total cash out of pocket would be $32,000 roughly, 31. But if you were able to qualify for the California Dream for All, not only would that boost your purchase price from $600,000 to $750,000 for about the same payment, you'd actually end up spending less out of pocket doing that as well, coming in at $26,000 versus $31,000. So you're paying a little bit more monthly, but you end up paying less out of pocket for a way bigger home if you're able to use this program. So once again, the voucher website opens up later on this year in April, but it's going to be very important for you to get pre-approved for a mortgage now and meet with a loan officer to make sure that you meet all of those requirements. And hopefully, if you've gotten to this point of the video, I hope I've earned your business, and I hope you book a one-on-one call with my team. We'd be glad to help you. We're licensed throughout the state of California to help you no matter where you're buying. Out of the hundreds of home buyers that me and my team talked to last year, we were actually lucky enough to get 6 of them under contract and into their dream homes, and I could not be happier for them. I think this is a wonderful program for those who qualify and for those who are going to be lucky enough to actually get into the lottery system later on this year. And so once again, if you made it this far and you still have some questions, make sure you book a one-on-one call with my team, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.
Okay, now let me give you an example of coming to the positive side of capitalism, which I do for people, and creating a business and making lots of money. This guy that did the video, now he did an awesome job on this video, right? Now, I don't know if he really believes the program or whatever, but it looks like he created a business around it. Hey, come see my team. We can hook you up, and if you qualify for the program, because if he's the one that gets you qualified for the program, guess what? He makes money. That's how it works. Everybody makes money except you. All they got to do is get you in it. I don't even live in California. I'm assuming they must have built a whole bunch of homes, and they must be vacant or something, and they got to get you guys in them. That's the only thing I can. And they might as well make some money on or maybe that was the whole plan, because when you like, now that I understand how it works, so when I see a whole bunch of homes being built, right? I think to myself, okay, why is the bank building all these houses? Because you guys have no money to buy them. You know, you have to go through them to buy the houses, okay? Because you can't get them, right? So I say to myself, well, they wouldn't waste the money to build all these houses. They would, because they're not going to put you guys in them, right? So obviously they're going to put you guys in them somehow. And then when I see programs like this, I go, oh, okay, that's how they were going to do it. Because when I see all the houses being built, I just go like, okay, how are they going to get you guys in them? Because right now you guys are making payments on T-shirts and shoes and stuff like that, making 4 easy payments and Easy Pay and Afterpay and Apple Afterpay. I'm thinking, how are you guys going to, if they're making payments on T-shirts and shoes, how are you going to get them in a house? Oh, Just give them loans for everything, down payment, second mortgage for the regular mortgage, and lock them in to where you guys are not going to be in the house very long. So they're going to make a quick, whatever that appreciation is going to be in that 5 to 7 years. Now, when you come here, I bring you to the positive side. You come here, and now you're a part of 0.5% of the population. Now, when you understand how it works, and when you create a business, and you're going to work with the banks and IRS and the taxes and all this other stuff, everybody, all the players are going to know that you know because of how you play. Because very few people know that capitalism is psychological, okay? Very few people in the world, because capitalism is all over the world. .5% of the population know this mathematical fact. Okay, I like to reiterate that every now and then to make sure people understand what I'm saying. You're like when I tell you about like tax professionals, or it doesn't matter. Anybody involved in taxes or finances, whatever, I can tell you what they have to say when I tell you guys things, because everybody must obey the laws of mathematics. Everybody, especially people involved in taxes. Everybody. When you go up to your tax professional and say, hey, mathematically speaking, I heard I cannot lower myself in my tax bracket as long as I have a mortgage. Is that true? They have to say yes. Do you guys understand that? You go up to the smartest investor that you know and go up to him and say, hey, you know what? Mathematically speaking, I heard I cannot invest in anything, especially the stock market, if I have student loan debt. Is that true? They have to say yes. If any of them say no, guess what? You're paying the wrong investor. You're paying the wrong tax professional. You're paying the wrong one. Why? Because they don't believe in the laws of mathematics. 9 times out of 10, they don't own the business of themselves in the United States of America. That's bad. That's very bad. Once you come to the positive part of capitalism, you don't take advice from people that do not own themselves in the United States of America, especially the ones that do not know they don't own themselves. You really don't take it. You don't take financial advice, investment advice, any kind of advice. Now, the reason why I'm always on tax professionals, because taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. That's everything, and it will always be. So if you come across a tax professional that doesn't know what I'm telling you, you got the wrong tax professional. But if you are a tax professional and you've come across my channel and you've never heard of such a thing, I can make you one of the best tax professionals in the United States of America, and more if you wish, because capitalism is all over the world. You just happen to be in the best part of the world to learn about capitalism. We have the best here. Millions. We have, just Google, how many people are in the United States of America? 300, 400 million, somewhere around there. 99% of them are completely clueless, don't know anything. Those are the best kind. Every time it just grow. It's about, and I want people that are new to the channel, I want you guys to understand something. It's not about me being smarter than you or knowing something. It's just a different perspective that not many people know. And it happens to be a mathematically factual one. So when you come here, it changes your entire life. This is what I do for people. It changes not only your life, it changes your life throughout the generation of your life. So if you have young children, you will naturally teach this to them, naturally. That's an automatic. And guess what? When you teach them this, guess what? When it's time for them to grow up and go out into the world, 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna date or marry or procreate with a debt slave, because they know that's very bad. Nothing's guaranteed, but if they're taught in the household at a young age, and then they grow up to be young adults, and then they get out in the world and start messing around, they're going to be like, uh-oh, my parents told me if I get pregnant or get a debt slave pregnant, I'm going to be locked into the debt matrix legally and biologically for the next 20 years. Exactly. Like my life now, I wouldn't date a debt slave. I save myself a lot of money for dates or anything, because first thing you got to do is talk to I have to talk to a woman on the phone first. Hey, how you doing? What do you do? Blah blah blah. Because I'm even out of the 40-hour work week program. You guys, those of you guys that are in it, you guys don't know that's a program when you're in it. You just think it's normal. Hey, there's 7 days in a week and my job owns 5. That doesn't wake you up like, wait a minute, that seems odd. Yeah, it's very odd, very odd. But you don't know that when you're in it. But when you're outside of it, you're like, damn, that didn't wake me up. Sure didn't. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about, hey, what do? You went to school, blah blah blah. Especially at my age, I'm 54. So if I come across a woman that she still talks about, she still has her student loan debt, we're not going anywhere. We're stopping right there. We're not going on a date. We're not talking on the phone anymore. It's really no point, because she's a debt slave. And if she hasn't owned herself by this age, it's probably too late. Because if you haven't woken up by my age, like, let me give you an example. If you are, I'm 54. If you're 54 too, and you have, let's say like you have $150,000. We're going to talk about just one debt, because if student loan debt is your oldest debt, your whole life is full of debt. Okay. But we're just going to talk about the student loan debt. If you have $150,000 of student loan debt and you make $40,000 a year and you're 54 years old and you have other debts along with your student loan debt, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying that you would have to put in some work. The only way out, let me give you guys a leeway. The only way out of debt, if you woke up at my age, you would have to create your own successful business to escape. That's the only way you would be able to escape. Because at that age, it's probably too late to escape with a regular job. Because you're making 40,000 and you still got rent and food and car and gas and blah blah blah. You're probably not going to be able to do it. What'd you say? Commissions on the full price of, oh. Damn. This is what you. That's amazing. You guys don't even get it. They create money out of thin air. Well, it's not really. It's not thin air because the whole thing is an illusion to you guys anyway, because they can change it and do all this stuff. They can really do anything with it because money doesn't exist. Money is an illusion for debt slaves. Do you guys know the majority of the six-figure earners, you guys are in debt? Do you guys know that? You guys are in debt. And guess what you cannot do when you earn six figures and you're in debt? Guess what you can't do? Guess what you cannot do? Guess what's impossible? And you can ask any tax professional you want. You cannot lower yourself in your personal tax bracket. You can't. And you make six figures. So wherever you're at in your tax bracket, in your personal tax bracket, and you can go ask your tax professional and tell them what I said. You say it just like this. Mathematically speaking, if I'm in debt, can I lower myself in my tax bracket? They have to say no. Do you understand that? It doesn't matter how long they've been in the business. It doesn't matter. Nobody can break the laws of mathematics, no matter how long you've been doing taxes. Nobody. Down here in Charleston and the surrounding areas, they are building everywhere. I remember seeing that. I do. I'm just saying to myself, where are these debt slaves getting this money from to buy these 250? Now you know. There's going to be a program. Listen, mark my words, QJC. There's going to be a program coming to South Carolina or Charleston or something. There's going to be a program because debt slaves have no money. All you got to do is all I do is pay attention to the big companies that tell me that you guys have no money. How do I do that? I look at Walmart. They got some kind of afterpay service. I look at Apple. They got Apple Afterpay. I look at Nike. They got some kind of afterpay service. That means you guys have no money to buy anything right now. And that means credit card companies are also not giving you guys no money on your credit cards. That's why they're coming in cleaning house. How are they going to fill these houses? Programs. You come to the, listen, you guys, okay, listen. I give you the mathematical blueprint to come from the negative side to the positive side where you earn real money. And guess what happens? Your money participates in those programs, and then California Cal and the upcoming South Carolina, some kind of something. They got to build something because they got to get them in those houses. You use your money to put in there. It probably comes in the form of some kind of tax benefits or something, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Put it this way. Say like I lived in South Carolina, QJC, and South Carolina says, hey, we're about to start some kind of housing program to help people and that are normally wouldn't qualify to just, hey, I don't care. How much taxes will I be saving? Well, you'll be saving about 100,000. How much I need to put in? 500. Here, take it. There's my money for the program because I know I'm going to get it back. They said I'm going to save money on taxes. That's guaranteed money. Guaranteed, because they are the only ones that can do that. Those are the only ones that can save you tax money in cities and states or whatever. Government officials. That's called phantom income. Something that debt slaves cannot do. You cannot do that. You cannot, hey, do you guys accept financing to put money into the program for the, no, we don't do that. I'll say by age 45 is the age a person should wake up. Well, should, yeah, that's a that's a good put it this way, QJC. Okay, because because I could speak to you regularly. I'm gonna speak to you regular, QJC, because debt slaves won't even understand this. First of all, it will always be this way, always. Okay, until at least as long as I'm gonna live, because I don't know what's gonna happen after I die. So it will never change. This is forever. We are just now, since we know, we are just watching to see how they do it. Because when we see all these houses being built, we know they can't buy them. So why are they building them? Okay, so there must be a plan coming for somebody to invest and make. You come to the positive side, you put your money into whatever they're about to do, whatever. It doesn't matter. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm not there yet, but 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure it's probably in the form of some kind of tax savings or something. Because debt slaves cannot save money on taxes. They can't do that. That's why it's called phantom income, because these are things that debt slaves cannot do. Let me give an example so you can. I always like to give this example so you can understand, because I didn't know it at the time when I did it. I remember the last year I had a job back in 2015, a regular traditional 40-hour work week, blah, 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 right? And that year I was debt free for the first time in my life, but I still had a job because I was scared to let it go, because all I known was a job all my life. So it's not really easy to let go and quit a 6-figure job. But anyway, for the first time in my life, I fully funded my 401k of, like, I think it was 20,000 or something. Okay. 19.5, close to 20,000. And I did it so I could save money on taxes, because I figured out how to, do that stuff. Right. But anyway, I remember when I did it, I remember HR called me. They called me right to my desk. Hey, yeah, Mr. Young, yeah, this you? Hey, we noticed that you moved, because we could log in and move a bar to talk, tell how much we want to contribute to the 401k. And so I just put the bar all the way to the max. They called me and thought I made a mistake. They're like, okay, we were just double checking, because sometimes people mess up the bar. And I was like, no, I did that on purpose. She says, well, you know how much is going to come out of each one of your checks? I was like, yeah, I did it. She's like, okay, all right, we're just checking. All right. I was like, okay. But at the time that happened, I didn't understand why she was doing that. I was like, oh, they're just doing a follow-up. That's normal, because that was not normal. I did something, so you guys understand where I'm at today in the world, okay? I did something that 0.5% of the employees in the company ever do: fully fund a 401k. You understand? That's why HR called me and thought I made a mistake, because nobody does it. That's where I'm at today. It doesn't matter how anybody feels about mathematical facts. That's why I speak the way I do. That's why I talk the way I do. That's why I say I'm one of this century's financial geniuses, because I can back it up with mathematics. That's why. As you can probably see, each day I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. I don't even know why I have to get comfortable with the truth. It doesn't even make any sense. But I know why, because I was in the debt matrix since I was born. I was born in the debt matrix. I was just lucky, not lucky, blessed by God to escape. God got me out. I know something 0.5% of the people in the world know. Of course, that's from God. Of course. What's up, Jesus? What's going on? Yep, time to finance them Apple Vision Pros. Oh, nice. Sure. You can get like one, two, you can get about 3 pairs. No, 2 pairs. 3 pairs. 3 pairs of Apple Vision Pros. Get them for the whole family. Better go use it up. Debt slaves don't even buy their phones, so they're not buying it. Exactly, QJC. They know that. Like, okay. when you hear like neighborhoods getting gentrified and using these names, right? So I want you to, I'm gonna show you guys a view from the positive side so you guys understand. So from a positive side, something that you cannot see, okay? You just can't, right? First of all, the name, gentrification. I have no idea. I'm assuming they're using it so you guys think it has something to do with skin color or the race of a person or something. That's why gentrification, and you guys spread it out, and it has nothing to do with any of that. Nothing. All of you guys, 99%, it doesn't matter what neighborhood you guys are in. 99% of the people have mortgages. The bank already knows who and who are not behind on mortgages. The bank already knows who owns their houses. So since they already know who's behind on mortgages, who's struggling already, and it happens to be an area that they want, all they got to do is raise the taxes in that area, and you guys are out of there. And then they come in and do whatever they're going to do. You guys are thinking about it all wrong. When you're born in a century where you see a neighborhood that was, listen, this is how you got to look at it, okay? When you look at a neighborhood that might have been there for like 50, 60 years, and now you're seeing it change, you're lucky enough to see the change because the neighborhood that you know of was different at once before. You just don't know it because you was in it. After the change had happened, you were already there, so you just think it was always that way. No, that your whole neighborhood looked a different way. All you got to do is look in the history books and clearly see your neighborhood didn't look the way it was today. So now that you're here seeing it change, you need to figure out how to get in on this change. You're about to see something change, and it's going to stay that way for the next 50, 60, 70, 80 years. How can you get in there and do that? Because you're in the middle of the change. Don't be able to, oh my God, I can't believe the neighborhood's changing. Everything. That's called evolution. If you don't change with it, you're going to get left. That's what's going to happen. Oh my God, I wish things stayed the way they used to stay. And that's where you're going to stay then. That's where you're going to stay. You go get this Cal State program that if you read it, this is what I want you guys to do. Click on the video, go to the comments. Look how many people can't wait to do the program. Now don't go down there talking about, hey, you're dumb and this and that. Don't do none of that. When you come in and I teach you this and I teach you this gift, the first thing I'm going to tell you, we don't abuse dead slaves. Okay, they're already being abused enough. You don't need to abuse them anymore. When they're under the video talking about how great the program is and this and that, don't say nothing. Just read it. Just let them be. Let them do what they do. They're doing what they're supposed to do. I remember even being in public school. Now that I'm out of all that stuff, you guys don't understand it's a program. Now that I'm I remember being in public school, and I used to say as a kid, man, school sure does follow the work schedule. We get the same holidays off, Saturday and Sunday off. We go to school Monday through Friday, and school happens to be while my parents are at work, and then usually they get home after I get out of school. Wow, so I'm ready to be put into the program as an adult. I'm already ready. I'm already know that Saturday and Sunday are special or whatever the program is. When you get out of the program, Saturday and Sunday are not special. They're just days of the week that God created. That's it. If you're always looking at the clock, it's because the clock owns you, because you don't own your time. That's why you're always looking at the clock. That's what that means. Because I remember when I quit my job, I started losing track of time. And I was getting upset at myself because I never knew what time it was. But what I didn't realize is that I was detoxing from being part of the clock thing. The clock is a tool. It's not a need. And the reason why I was looking at the clock all the time, because I didn't own myself. I didn't own the business of myself. That's why I was looking at the clock. Now I barely know what time it is. I only know what time it is when I have an appointment. Hence, the clock is a tool now. Programs like when you see programs like this they're not talking to people like me. I mean, they are, but they're not. But not in the same way they're talking to you. Because I'm sure, again, I'm not at that perspective, okay? But the money has to come from somewhere. So there must be some investors or something that worked something in the background, something that somebody's making some money. Or else they're not building these houses for nothing. Maybe they're hide behind the black rock or something that you guys can't see. So, because as long as you guys don't see a person, everybody's good. All right, let me do an invite real quick. If you guys have any questions, and I'm getting out of here because it's been an hour and 16 minutes already. That was good. Any questions? I keep telling people, man, I'm going to start my own tax firm. That's what I'm going to do. And all I need is one really, 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 really good tax professional to understand what I'm talking about, and then they can translate to the other tax professionals that want to be the best in the United States of America. They can translate it to that, and we'll just start our own tax firm. Nobody would know how we're doing it. Well, not nobody, but very few people would know how we're doing. Yeah, has to be a few people to know that, but very few people would know what we're doing. Very few. They'll be like, man, that tax firm is the best in America. I know it is. I'm telling you. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, it's going to be that before it's even built. It doesn't even exist yet, and it's going to be the best. All I need is some very ambitious tax professionals, people that, believe it or not, there's some people that are really ambitious about taxes that don't know capitalism has three parts. I need you guys, man, woman, I don't care how old you are. I don't care your age. It doesn't matter because math is timeless. All right. All right. I don't see nobody clicking on that link. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Much appreciated. Get my eat on. Thank you, everybody, for QJC. I'm missing that warm weather, QJC. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm missing it. But it doesn't, this is QJC, this is what I meant to tell you. Even though I love the South Carolina sun, there's nothing like this piece. This piece is just absolutely amazing. I mean, everything is just going just wonderful, man. Just wonderful, man. And this piece is just, it's my own personal sun. It's my own personal sun within myself. So, all right, you guys have a good one. Andre, I don't know if you're still there, sir, but thank you for joining. SPIV. I saw you in there, Yellow, down south Yellow. Snuck in there for a second. World QS, Business Connections. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Later.